5 lessons that completely saved me from poverty. I told you I came from a poor background, my parents didn't have, and so I knew for a fact that if nothing changes in my life, I was definitely going to end up poor. So I started learning. And these are 5 lessons that I learned earlier in life and it completely saved me from poverty. I've already done part 1 of this. I've done part 2 of this. This is part 3. The first thing I learned was that even though I was poor, struggling, what I really needed was knowledge and a plan, not money. Money was the last thing I needed, and this is why. I came back from school one day. I was just scrolling on YouTube, and I came across this program from Dr. McDan. It's called McDan's Challenge. Those of you who have seen it before. These were young guys, entrepreneurs. So McDan had a panel, right? And they set up a price of 700,000 Ghana cedis for these young entrepreneurs. So the entire program is you come, you tell them why they should give you that, how that money is going to help your business, and how you are going to get that money back. And I sat down, I watched so many episodes of this for these guys to have an idea of what to use 700,000 Ghana cedis for. Alone was enough for them to have a plan of what to use 7 billion old Ghana cedis for. That alone was it for me. And I asked myself, if this money should slip and end up in my account, what am I going to use it for? I sat down for 1 hour. I couldn't come up with a single idea, proving, well-calculated plan of how I'm going to utilize 100,000 Ghana cedis. I couldn't. I reduced it to 10,000 Ghana cedis. How am I going to utilize 10,000 Ghana cedis to make sure anybody who will give me that money will get his money back in a few months' time or even a year time? I couldn't come up with any plan on how to sustain just 10,000 Ghana cedis. That was when I realized that my problem wasn't money. So I didn't have knowledge on how to make, manage, and multiply money, and I didn't have a plan to that. So the first lesson I learned was that I will stop looking for money and I will now chase knowledge, and I will devise a plan for this. And when I started learning that, situations changed for me. The second thing I learned was that I learned to shift from beggar mentality to giver mentality. I learned to shift from me sitting down for somebody to do stuff for me to somebody sitting down for me to do stuff for the person. I started to look at what can I do to help this? What can I do to offer solution to this? And that completely changed my life. I have a business online. I checked myself and I realized, oh, I have this gift. I'm able to break down complex things to make it simple. Okay, so I take information that are already available. I break it down to the simplest form for you to understand. I don't use big English. So I use basic English and I explain information that are already there and I monetize it online. Just breaking down what is already there to simple form for people to easily understand. So I stop looking for what others can do for me and I look at what I can do for others, and that changed my life. The third thing I learned earlier, I learned to find my space. Every person on this planet Earth has a space to occupy on this earth. So I learned to find my space and I learned to locate what game is in my space, and I learned to learn the rules governing that game that is in my space, and I started playing it. What do I mean? So I found myself, that's identity, and my purpose, number 1. Then I found the business in my purpose. Then I found the rules governing the business in my purpose. Then I learned how to play that game. So find your space, find the game in your space, learn the rules of the game in your space, and start playing it. Identify who you are and your purpose, right? Inside your purpose, there is a business. Find that business, find the rules governing that business, and start playing that game. It's very simple. So I learned to find my space. The fourth thing I learned, and this completely changed my life, was that I learned to choose my own teachers. You see, in this life, it's either you choose your own teachers or everybody will be a teacher in your life to teach you. There are so many people teaching on social media. The world is teaching people, experiences are teaching people, circumstances are teaching people, religion is teaching people. So many things are teaching people. They teach you from what you hear, right? And they teach you from what you see. And what you are hearing and seeing is what enters into your heart. That's your mind, and it forms your habit. So I chose my own teachers. I made the Bible my ultimate teacher. And so I identify myself as who the Bible taught me to be. So I am not defined by societal standards. I am not defined by religious standards. I am not defined by human standards. I started to see myself as how God sees me, because that's what the Bible taught me. I started to see business as how the Bible taught me. I started seeing my whole life on earth that God doesn't want me to fail. So poverty is not supposed to be part of my life. The Bible taught me that because I made the Bible my teacher. It's either you make something your teacher or everybody will pour into your heart. And that's the reason why a lot of people are confused. Because they hear this on social media, then another person says this. There's a whole lot of noise in the world. If you don't have a definite teacher who teaches you, that's the end of you, because you will forever be confused. So always choose your own teachers. The fifth thing I learned was that advice is only as good as the knowledge you have about yourself and your circumstance. Let me repeat. Advice is only as good as how much you know who you are and how much you understand your life circumstance. It means that if you don't know who you are and your life circumstances or your situation, even good advice can destroy you. And I learned this early. So knowing yourself and your situation is key if any advice will work for you or it will work against you. Example, if you tell me you want to have triplets because I have triplets, and I tell you, oh, okay, this is what I do. I have sex twice in the morning, I have sex twice in the afternoon, I have sex twice in the evening. When do same. For this advice or for this thing to work for you, or for you to even conceive in the first place, you have to know yourself and your circumstance. What is your circumstance? Do you even have a womb in the first place? Is your husband having a normal sperm count? Somebody who doesn't know this will take this advice and will have sex in the morning, afternoon, evening for 20 years, thinking that the advice is not working. But the problem is not the advice. The problem is who is behind this advice. Your circumstance doesn't support this advice. Somebody advise you on social media, be bold, stand up for yourself, always speak your mind. This advice is only good for people who are wise and who knows timing. If you are not wise and you don't know what is called timing, you go and speak your mind in an unwise way in a wrong time and you lose your job. A lot of people have spoken their mind and right now they've been sacked because they took a very good advice without knowing that they themselves are not wise. So this advice is not good for them. They don't know what timing is. The first key of succeeding in life is knowing yourself and knowing your circumstance. These are the 5 lessons I learned next and it saved me from poverty. I hope this helps you. This is what I came to tell you.